think about the allegations. The allegations that they've been accused of are some of the worst allegations in the world.
Andrew Tate's own lawyer has said that his life is in danger in prison right now because he is a target of the other inmates. This is what he had said.
And in particular, those types of allegations, SA allegations, sexual assault, and anytime you involve a child, let me tell you right now, that doesn't play well for anyone politically in jail. So it's got nothing to do with their ability to defend themselves or this or that. It's got to do with the fact that they put a target on their back for them to get stabbed, jumped, murdered, whatever it is in jail, because that is how jail politics and that is how jail gangs and how the jail economy works. There's a pecking order in jail. It's very real. And when you come in with those allegations, there's no excuses. It's your paperwork says this, therefore you're up for murder. You're fair game. You're fair game. And every time the public says Andrew and Tristan are just like Epstein, well, guess what? The public is green-lighting for them to get murdered in jail. These allegations against them are the worst for a multitude of reasons, and it's one of the reasons why they're in solitary. We hope to get them out. Look, the people over here in the system, the guards at the jail, they've been great. They've been fair to us. I've been in jails and places all around the world, and we've been treated honorably here. They have to carry out their mission.
The Tate brothers, now that child images and stuff is involved, the best place for them is solitary confinement. They're going to remain in jail for at least the next 2 weeks before the next hearing, but probably a lot longer than that.
They have to carry out their instructions, their orders, their duty. But that doesn't take away from the fact that every time somebody walks by their cell, they get called something, a word that starts with a P that's more appropriate to Epstein and not appropriate to them. And because of that, they have a target on their back that's very, very real. People could say, I'm up here and I am pontificating about what ifs and maybes, or I'm exaggerating, or I'm being hyperbolic. I am not. If one of them gets stabbed or beaten half to death tomorrow, it will be because this is the way it went down, and it's wrong.
Yesterday, a federal court judge in Miami set 13th August as the date when the court could decide whether the controversial social media influencers should remain in custody or be released during the process to extradite them. Of course, they're going to have a massive target on their back now because of the stuff associated to them, and they could delay this case even further. So in 2 weeks we get to that case, but if it comes back and they say no, they're going to have to sit behind bars till we wait to decide to extradite them. That could take a further year.
So the Tate situation is getting more interesting. I just got out of a court hearing and they are still in detention right here. There is a press conference going on, and here is the latest. The latest is that the prosecution is arguing that they should be detained and that it actually should continue the way it is, and they should be in, solitary confinement unit and 23 hours a day with criminals, murderers, and people who are supposedly danger to the public. However, when the defense, and there are lawyers right here, when they were saying, could you please provide us with any proof, anything that the UK has provided, the defense is like, oh, we don't know, we don't have a full package, it might take 60 days for us to receive any kind of information and full package, and then the defense is going to receive it. So how they're even supposed to argue against their solitary confinement and detention, how they can go into a detention hearing, which is now scheduled for the 13th of August, without even the ability to see who's the accuser, what is the fucking proof, none of it. Today they're like, oh, I don't know, I witnessed it with my own eyes. They said, oh, we don't, maybe within 60 days. That's it. This is all you need to know. Directly from Miami.
I'll be honest with you guys right now. In 2 weeks, if the Tate brothers come back and get the news that they're going to remain behind bars until they get extradited, and the process isn't going to be fast process and it could take up to the year, the Tate brothers will never be the same again. Guys that spend a year in solitary confinement will come out mentally fatigued in different ways, let alone someone who's used to living a luxury life and have money.
We have often said that the process is the punishment. American citizens, in order for your freedom to be deprived, you have to be convicted in a court of law. There are certain exceptions. The extradition proceedings is one of them. So the enemies of Andrew and Tristan Tate know this, and they are doing what they have always done, and they are weaponizing the court process and weaponizing the tension against them in order to get them to break. Because when you put innocent men or any man in solitary confinement at a certain period of time, they begin to deteriorate, they begin to decompensate, they begin to break down, and it's never ever good. The process is the punishment. But we're going to do our best to get them out of solitary confinement. We're going to do our best to get them in front of the judge and make sure we have no doubts that this case will be handled here the right way. The other thing I'll say is the process is the punishment has always been one of our mottos. The other motto is less is more sometimes in life. And right now, it's less. They got a whole lot of nothing, and that means so much more for us. So we feel good about where we're at, and unless they can provide corroboration with all these allegations that they've accused Angela and Tristan of, then what they really have at the end of the day is a big bag of nothing. Thank you very much.
If you think Andrew Tate deserves to spend the rest of his life in prison, or you think Andrew Tate has been set up in certain ways and has an agenda put on him by the UK government, regardless of what you think, none of us want to see some sort of Epstein situation where he's just behind bars, waiting, and that court date never comes.
If you can't see how deep the brainwashing goes, there's more people happy about Andrew Tate being arrested than not a single person on the Epstein files being arrested. Look how hard they're going after this guy, and they're not putting even an ounce of energy to anyone on the Epstein files. Do you not see how fucked up that is, bro? When there's physical proof of them being pedophiles, sacrificing babies, and eating baby organs. And the other side is all accusations. No matter what you believe about the guy, this is fucked up.
From what I've seen and stuff I go through, could Andrew Tate be guilty of serious crimes and deserve punishment? 100%. There's lots of stuff out there. I've made videos on it myself. Secondly, is this somewhat politically motivated? 100%. How can you deny that when there's investment in certain parties and the country do not like him and ban his influence? It is both here.
Prime Minister, you've made it very clear this is personal for you. Tell me why.
Well, it is personal.
How does £20 million spread across schools across the country counteract someone like Andrew Tate? He has 11 million followers on X.
People like Andrew Tate are a real difficulty, and for teenage boys, they need to talk about that because it's very difficult for them to navigate their way.
Countering the damage he causes, you know, is £20 million up to that challenge? He's on the same platform as your government pushes out communications. Yet what can you do about it?
Well, we can push out communications.
And they're spending billions trying to deprogram men from my programming of go to the gym. Scary. While they let grooming gangs rape, while they let criminals steal, while they let murderers, while they let immigrants arrive, all the problems of that country, everyone's talking about me. What is my chance of a fair trial in the UK when the Prime Minister is saying I'm the biggest problem for the country? Zero. That's why they tried to extradite me.
And you'd spend 20 million in one investment and apparently a lot more on different indications counteracting the influence that he has. You wouldn't politically target him through the extradition process to keep him behind bars. That's an easier way of counteracting his influence right now.
Mr. Keir Starmer, I heard you're in a little bit of trouble. I've got bad news for you because you're in a whole bunch more. I'm here in America and I've just been handed a document which proves that Morgan McSweeney, who was your chief of staff under the Labour government, was behind the entire attack that happened against me. It breaks international law. It completely breaks the presumption of innocence. It shows the corruption of the British state. It shows that you were afraid that I was inspiring bravery in young men, and when young men are brave, they will prevent the Labour government from enslaving the entire UK population. That is why you have insulted me every single day in the mainstream news. That is why you told the Romanians to lock me up, even though I never did anything wrong. That is why members of parliament to this day slander me every single day, because the primary objective is to attach heinous allegations to my name to the point where people are afraid to use my influence. They know I'm influential. I'm the most influential. So they want everybody afraid to associate with me because of the heinous allegations attached to my name.
Obviously, Andrew Tate's already said if I was a sexual predator like the grooming gangs or Prince Andrew, BBC presenters or Lord Manelston, Epstein's best friend, the British police would not be hunting me around the globe. They would be protecting me. But everything comes from different angles in this case because Donald Trump's family are being investigated because they're getting backlash for protecting him in a state. So this guy has been protected at certain points and even said that he has political friends and favors, but now it seems like they may have run out.
I love when things go wrong. I love when Bitcoin crashes. I love when I lose my money. I love getting arrested. I love going to jail. I love it. You're like, I want to go back. That's the true heartbreaking thing. I don't want to be on a private jet to Hong Kong. I want to go to jail. I want to go back to the jail cell with the cockroaches. And I want to sit there by myself, meditating. While the whole world lies about me, I want to sit there like this. I want to sit there for years. That's what I want to do. But unfortunately, I made so much fucking money, and I'm so fucking famous and so fucking smart, and so many powerful friends, and now I'm floating on the surface. And I miss my old life. I miss the suffering. I miss the pain. And you're fucking emailing me complaining about having exactly what I fucking want.
What Andrew Tate basically thinks is the reason they run so many media articles saying that he's bad for youth, he's bad for everyone, he's a toxic influence, the masculinity stuff, he's saying that they're preparing. So when they do arrest him, like just recently, because they waited on this case for a long time to pounce like this, he's saying that everyone is prepared to just accept whatever they charge him with, even the child charges, because their brain is susceptible for the information that these guys are bad, is what he thinks.
A bad person and deserves jail. 1 week later, he was arrested. Was he charged with beating her up? No, that's on video. Wasn't charged with that. How did I know that was a setup? Because that video is 15 years old. Why would they hold on to a video for 15 years and never release it? No one ever saw it before. Then it pops up out of nowhere. Then he's arrested. Because if they just arrested him out of nowhere, people would be like, hey, not Diddy, I like his songs. No, they want everyone to believe you're guilty before you're even found guilty. So they had to release the video to set him up. Why?
Can you explain that more? The gradual disclosure thing?
Absolutely. So the media is specific. It's almost like the media makes things come true. It doesn't report what happened and what's true. It makes things come true. So let's look at my example, for example, and I think this explains it. If I wasn't there, the video wouldn't have gone viral. Why? Because they're trying to lock me up for being a hateful person. So they have to take anything they can get and push to the public constantly and endlessly, not because I am hateful, but to convince them I'm hateful so they can lock me up for being hateful. That's what the media does. It shapes narrative.
The last point that Andrew Tate's lawyer wanted to make is these guys travel all around the world when they've been released off house arrest. Despite this, every single time they've turned up to face the court. So why now all of a sudden are they going to start to flee this case?
We feel great and we feel good about the process going forward. I just want to make a brief recitation of events that has led up to where we're at today. There's a long-standing court order in effect in Romania. And that court order essentially, in purpose, stays the United Kingdom's extradition proceedings. This is how Andrew and Tate have been traveling across the world for the past several years. Every time they take a trip, every month they go back on the 21st or the 17th, whatever the Romanian court requires, and they have made their appearances. They have fulfilled the obligations of their judicial release in Romania to the letter of the law. They have never, ever missed a date. The agreement with Romania in the United Kingdom is for the United Kingdom to step back and let proceedings play out in Romania.
So yeah, regardless of where you stand on this case right now, we don't want to see an Epstein type situation, but that's not going to happen as long as they're in solitary confinement, and that's the best place for them. If they was out on a normal wing mixing with the public, mainly because of the charges with the child stuff is one thing, but maybe someone just wants to make a name for themselves and do something, I do think the brothers would definitely be targeted. Even though there's two of them, they got each other, there is many different people in the prison that would want to do something to these guys. The Tate's influences dried up a lot. The last time they got arrested, there was some protests. There was many people calling things out, and this time round it seems like it was just one guy with a sign, and that was even a Twitter community note chat.
All right, everybody, I'm currently outside the jail where Andrew Tate is being held, and dude, I don't see anybody here, bro. There's not a single, I mean, it is raining to be fair, but bro, not a single person with a sign or a protest or anything, guys. Look at this. I'm pretty sure that right up there, it's like one of these buildings. It's pouring rain, but nobody here. What's going on?